Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to the live stream here on the channel. Hopefully everybody is having a great day so far. Let's see what we have in the stream today. We have Caleb, LWX24, Brian, Ponderosa, Jake, Catman, Maury. Let's see, we have Lee and Jim in Nebraska Weather Center as well. Glad to see you guys all in here for another live stream on the channel, as well as everybody who is in here who is just watching and may not be chatting. Glad to see you here as well, Storm Dakota. And yeah, let's go ahead and jump right on into this briefing here. Let me find the right scene. There we go. So this should be good. I even task killed my Streamlabs so that way it wouldn't lag, but it ended up lagging anyways. Look at that. So before we dive on too in-depth into our snow system, I do want to point out we likely had a tornado, potentially a tornado outbreak today in and around the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area. Definitely some difficult to call CC drops, but there's a couple CC drops that I saw and tweeted about them. That most likely were weak, brief tornadoes. We had potentially one near Jefferson Hills. That's another difficult one there. Then we ended up having a few before this. Let me see if I can pull up the screenshot for you. This is a screenshot from my Twitter. The screenshot from Twitter here, and you can see all the different areas of rotation. I have 4 areas of rotation circled here, and then there's 4 CC drops. I do think maybe, probably this one right at my cursor, this one right here, that was probably a weak tornado. The other 3, I just can't tell, but that middle one definitely seemed like a brief spin-up tornado on radar. Then we had another tornado occur out here unwarned, which I even missed this one until I went back in the radar data and saw it. That was near northwest of Sharpsburg. Then we had another tornado that ended up going tornado warned out here for Penn Hills. Then we got another tornado that was up here near Springdale. Now, I don't know if all these will be confirmed as tornadoes. Some of them may have been gust nados or very just overall just winds that may have been picking up very light debris. So I don't really know if all of those are going to be confirmed as tornadoes. So we definitely had 2. We definitely had at least 2 tornadoes in and around the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area. But we could have had a lot more than that. You could see all the damage reports. If I go on here, you could see them better. Let's see. Yeah, look at all these damage reports. Most of these are for wind and not associated with tornadoes, but even if we didn't have more than 2 tornadoes, we still had, I mean, a lot of damage reports that came through here. I want to see this one. Trees down time estimated from radar. I have a good feeling that's actually associated with the tornado debris signature, and maybe this one here as well, damage to a fence. Both of those may be coordinated with the debris signature I saw earlier today. And then, of course, this line is actually still moving eastward, and it is still actually severe for 60-mile-an-hour winds. So, yeah, definitely wasn't on my my card today to see a severe thunderstorm warning and a winter storm warning in the same area. I did not expect to have severe storms up in Pennsylvania today at all, and especially not tornadoes either. We had that tornado warning earlier today. So let me kind of clear up this radar a bit so we can see it a little bit easier. So yeah, the yellow, those are severe thunderstorm warnings. The brown, those are special weather statements. But the main area we're paying attention to for this snowstorm is going to be up here in New York and Pennsylvania. This area could pick up to a foot of snowfall in and around this general area. We'll go over some model runs for you guys in just a bit. But a very large winter storm watch in place out here in south central New York and a good chunk in north central Pennsylvania. Quite a lot of people under those winter storm watches. We have winter weather advisories in place out here in Pennsylvania. I am going to go ahead and get rid of those warnings real quick because they are in the way. There you go. Now you can see those winter weather advisories that are in place. I know we had a viewer from St. Mary's last year. I don't know if they're still sticking around or not. But St. Mary's in Pennsylvania under a winter storm, or rather a winter weather advisory. Lafayette, Pennsylvania under that winter weather advisory as well. Then we have winter storm warnings already in place out here along the Appalachian Mountain Range here that runs from southwestern Pennsylvania through West Virginia. Then we have winter weather advisories out in this purple area here. That includes southwestern Virginia, western North Carolina, southeastern Kentucky. You guys are in that winter weather advisory there. So, like I said, the main area we're probably going to pay attention to in terms of snow totals will most likely be from about the Scranton, Pennsylvania area up towards like the Cortland, New York region, and then up to the north and west of Newburgh, New York there. Winter storm, or rather, I keep calling them winter storm. Winter weather advisories are up here for Wisconsin. That's in east central, southeastern Wisconsin. Currently, no winter weather advisories out for the Chicago area. We probably won't see any winter weather advisories out in that area, but you could still pick up on 2 inches of snow in this area. But I'll go over why we don't have those winter weather advisories in effect in just a bit. Then we have blizzard warnings in effect up here in North Dakota for another less than an hour. That winter storm and eventual, it did get upgraded to a blizzard warning there, you can see. That is already passed. That's already, we already had snow up in that area. I don't know how much snow we had, matter of fact. See if we got reports up there. 5 inches of snowfall. Let's see, I saw 5. 5 is all I saw in northwestern North Dakota. So we probably, I imagine we probably had isolated amounts up to about 8 inches somewhere in and around the Harvey area. And the Twin Cities are getting in on a lot of snow action. Look at all this blue. A lot of snowfall in the Twin Cities here in Minnesota. And even some snowflakes are probably falling in north central Illinois right now, potentially as far south as Princeton, Illinois. Don't know if you're seeing snow out there towards where Caleb is near Peoria or Ottawa. This is really a sharp cutoff here. It's going to depend on the exact temperatures in the lower atmosphere on if you're actually seeing that snow go from the upper atmosphere down to the surface or not. And Des Moines, Iowa also could be getting some very light flakes as well. The snowfall up here in the Twin Cities is definitely overperforming a bit. I mean, we almost have 30 dBz near the St. Cloud area, so we are overperforming just a bit out here in the Minnesota area, southeastern Minnesota. And someone just pointed out the date. Thank you for that. There we go. I don't know where I got the 18th from. I guess that was our last live stream, but there you go. Thank you for pointing that out, Dusty. Change that really fast. So, yeah, We also have, let me go ahead and show y'all. Oh, they're still in effect. I was able to catch some. We have hurricane force wind warnings in place in the coastal areas of western Oregon. These actually went all the way up to southwestern Washington earlier this morning. This is where we're looking at for the potential of 80 to 90 mile per hour winds. So we actually had a bomb cyclone that was equivalent to a mid to high end category 4 hurricane impact this area overnight last night. And that brought extremely strong wind speeds that ended up knocking out 500,000 people without power in this general area in the Pacific Northwest. We do have some winter storm warnings out as well up here, but overall, the main winter side of the system was overnight and is already it's already passed through. But the flash flooding is just now beginning out here. We do have a pretty rare high risk for excessive rainfall, level 4 out of 4. I believe that is a little bit rare, probably about a year, once every year or so, you'll probably see it up here thanks to those atmospheric rivers. So we do have a level 4 out of 4 risk for flash flooding tomorrow in northwestern California, and there's a level 3 out of 4 moderate risk for today in northwestern California, and then another moderate risk, level 3 out of 4 on day 3 in northwestern California. So a lot of flash flooding. I think we're looking at potentially up to a foot of rainfall. We'll take a very quick look at your forecast from the national database here on your precipitation totals over the next couple hours. So this is what it doesn't say how far it goes out. Okay, about 48 hours, And yeah, like I said, we could see up to a foot of rainfall in some locations in northwestern California. And if we take a look at the snow totals that they're expecting here over the next 48 hours or so, you'll see up here in Pennsylvania, I feel like we're going to get an isolated amount up to a foot of snowfall somewhere in this area. It's definitely unsure exactly where we'll see the potential for a foot of snowfall, but somewhere in here we're probably going to see an isolated up to a foot of snowfall. I'll go over model data on that. And then, of course, the higher elevations in eastern West Virginia, you guys are definitely going to get a foot of snowfall up there. That's why we already have those winter storm warnings out nice and early. They're calling for between 10 to 20 inches of snowfall and wind gusts as high as 40 miles an hour. And you can also see here, I do want to just switch. Let's go over to some model data because that's not really the most accurate. I don't really want to show that. Ignore the map you're looking at right now. That is not something I should have left up there. But yeah, let's go ahead and look at the GFS model run for the next like 90 hours or so. And this is the area that we have those winter weather advisories up here in Wisconsin. I want to go over why we won't see those. Most likely won't see those go into Chicago. If we pull this back, you'll see even in that winter weather advisory area, we have a very quick transition into rain. So any snow that does fall out here in Illinois or southeastern Wisconsin, it's going to be very short-lived. I mean, we're talking about snow will be on the ground for maybe 2-3 hours before it's completely gone, thanks to rainfall. If we look at your total depth of snowfall, you could see this is when it snows, right around 1 p.m. tomorrow. And if I go to the next frame, you're already at half an inch of snowfall. So, I mean, it's going to melt really, really, really quick thanks to rainfall up here in Wisconsin and Illinois. But we will get the opportunity to at least see snowfall in most of Ohio, most of Michigan, most of Wisconsin, and parts of northeastern Illinois, as well as most of Indiana and northeastern Kentucky. So a good chunk of the Midwest will at least get to see snowfall, but I don't think this will be snow that will result in any travel difficulties or power outages or anything significant in terms of impacts. If we go up here to the northeastern United States, I want to go over different model runs here. So actually, we're going to have to go up a little bit more. There you go. I want you to pay attention to northeastern PA, southeastern New York. The 12Z GFS model has a hot spot of 15 inches of snowfall there. The 18Z GFS is actually uptrended and pushed it all the way to almost 18 inches of snowfall. The HRRR model run has a hot spot of almost, actually, it does have a hot spot of 2 feet of snowfall. The Wrap model run has a hot spot there in, this time, a little bit more east of about 1.5 feet of snowfall in southeast New York. And then the NAM 3K model run has that hot spot as well in that same general area. So I do think we will see them increase snowfall totals. I believe they're calling for up to 8 inches of snowfall in this area. I do think we could see quite a few instances of 12 to 15 inches of snowfall in northeastern PA, south central New York. But it's going to fully depend on where that low pressure is located, because you could see the NAM 3K paints almost a perfect picture there for significant snowfall in New York and PA, where that low pressure swings right over south central New York, and that keeps your temperatures really, really cool. And so you just get a bunch of snowfall out there in south central New York, northeastern PA. And if we go over here to the mid-Atlantic, of course, if you're in the higher elevations of PA or West Virginia, you're going to be seeing almost a foot, if not greater, worth of snowfall. I do want to talk about snow squalls. There is the opportunity that I will be out and about chasing snow tomorrow in my neck of the woods here in Virginia. We're going to have these heavy pockets of snowfall. I don't know if these will be significant snow squalls or not, but generally you want to watch out if you're traveling in this area in the afternoon or morning hours of tomorrow. These snow squalls can hit very quick. It could rapidly deteriorate conditions. You could go from perfect visibility to literally not being able to see in front of you if you're on roadways out in the morning and afternoon hours in this area. So please travel with caution if you're in any of that circled area. That's southeastern Ohio, all of West Virginia, southwestern Virginia, northwestern NC, eastern Kentucky, northeastern Tennessee. We could get some pretty rough snow squalls out there, especially in the late morning, early afternoon hours. The timing for this will probably be between about 10 a.m. Eastern all the way until about 5 p.m. Eastern is when we'll be able to see those snow squalls. If I don't chase, we will be live here on this channel covering these snow squalls in the winter storm tomorrow. We'll most likely end up going live anyways tomorrow night to cover this threat for the winter storm. And I don't know if we'll be able to catch the snow squalls in terms of covering them. If I don't chase, then I'll cover them. If not, then I'll go ahead and just chase. So we'll see. The NAM 3K model also depicts those snow squalls. Not as bad as the HRRR depicts, but still quite a good chance for some snow squalls out there. And like I said, southeastern Ohio, all of West Virginia, northwestern Virginia, northeastern Tennessee, eastern Kentucky. I want to be keeping an eye out for those snow squalls. And like I said, primary timing for that will be from about 10 a.m. to 4 or 5 p.m. Eastern. Most likely, it's going to be the worst just before they dissipate. So 5 p.m., 4 or 5 p.m. is probably going to be the absolute worst timing for snow squalls out there. These will not help with accumulation for snowfall. So if you're out here in South Central Virginia, like I am, hoping for accumulating snowfall, they're not going to accumulate. I mean, we're just going to have blinding snowfall that doesn't accumulate and is just really annoying for travel. I think you could see some snow in Roanoke, but I don't think it will accumulate. Let me go ahead and take out the HRRR. Matter of fact, if I do chase tomorrow, I'll probably be going up near Rocky Mount, which is very, very close to Roanoke. Let me go to precipitation, see what the HRRR has. So yeah, these are your snow squalls coming in southwestern Virginia. About 1 to 2 p.m. is when they enter southwest VA and continue all the way until about 5, 6 o'clock. And then eventually they just, they can't reach anymore and they dissipate before they get to us. So definitely think we could see some flurries in this general area here in Virginia. It's definitely possible, but I don't think it will accumulate to anything. And let me just pull back and you can see these snow squalls. This is what I was talking about. You could literally be in perfect conditions out here in West Central West Virginia. And then in 30 minutes, boom, you have a very heavy snow shower over you. So definitely going to be watching out for some snow squalls for sure tomorrow morning through the afternoon and into the early evening hours. New Jersey, I think northwestern New Jersey, if you live out here towards like Sparta Township, you guys could probably see some accumulation there. It's very tricky to say how much will stick because you'll have rain before the snow, but we could at least look here. Yeah, the HRRR really doesn't want much sticking out there in New Jersey. I mean, you're looking at an inch or two at best. If you're in the higher elevations, you could be looking at, 3 to 4 inches of snowfall. But not a lot of this snow will stick. The main area where it will stick is going to be where we have those winter storm warnings out, northeastern PA, south central New York, and then along the Appalachian Mountains here. That's where it's going to stick. Elsewhere, it's probably going to be pretty brief and melt pretty quick. I don't know why they had it in the first place, Caleb. One look at the day 3 outlook, and I was like, what in the world? We were not going to see a thing from this system. I did think about chasing, but it was just, it's too messy. 500 instability with a messy setup is not going to give you much more than light rain here in NC and Virginia. For thunderstorms to form in my area, it feels like you need at least 10,000 instability. I swear they don't fire. They just don't fire. Like if you have a good environment and those storms fire in Virginia, you know it's going to be a really good chase day. But half, if not more than half the time, it's like the perfect environment and storms just never get going. And if that happens, then boom, your risk is completely gone. So Pittsburgh, PA, let's see. You guys just went through a bunch of tornadic activity out there in Pittsburgh. Same case. I think you're going to be seeing rainfall right after the snowfall. So, right when you wake up, probably I don't even know the day. Okay, it's Wednesday. Right when you wake up Friday, that's going to be your best chance to have any good snow. But you're going to have to get up at like 8, 9 a.m. and then it's going to quickly transition into snow or into rainfall rather, and completely melt all of your snow. Let's see. So your total snowfall in Pittsburgh probably going to be near an inch or two, depending on where you are. But like I said, it's going to melt fast, if it even sticks. Yeah, the mountains always take our snowfall. Out here in North Carolina, Virginia, we have to have a nor'easter that tracks like this in order to get snowfall. In my neck of the woods, you have to have a low pressure system that tracks along the coastline. It feels like it's been decades since we've had a low pressure system that does this and dumps a bunch of snow in this whole area. I swear it feels like it's been decades. New York City, you could definitely see some flurries, but most likely rain. Let me go see here. So if you guys are enjoying the briefing, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, share this live stream with your family and friends. It's greatly appreciated. We'll definitely be doing a live stream tomorrow at some point. I don't know if we'll be able to cover the snow squalls. That depends on if I chase. But regardless, we're gonna be covering the winter storm. I would like to cover it closer in the day, so we could have some better cameras. Let's see. I mean, your snow really doesn't pick up until late tomorrow night. It really gets going at about 8, 9 o'clock. And then it will be snowing most of the night. So it's really a good, solid nocturnal snow threat here. A lot of snowfall. South central New York and northeastern PA, that's going to be the best chance for, near a foot of snowfall. But like I said, I mean, you're going to get this rain. This rain's pushing through tonight into tomorrow morning. and that will clear out. Thankfully, that will clear out pretty quick, so hopefully that doesn't affect your snowfall totals that much. Let's go over impacts real quick because we have something that's called the WSSI. It's the Winter Storm Severity Index, and that is going to be right here. So this is your severity index, basically saying, how bad impacts could be. So if you're in the gray area, that's where it's really just going to be snow. You want to exercise caution when driving, but overall, not really anything significant is expected. This could easily be upgraded to a higher risk. So we have 5 risks to this. We have the first risk, which is gray. Second risk is yellow. Third risk is orange, which you can see here. Literally, the 3 covers it. Right there, that's your third risk. That's your moderate risk. Then you have your major risk, which is red right there. And then you have a purple risk, which is a 5 out of 5 extreme risk, which I don't even know. I don't even think that's in effect anywhere in the US right now. Yeah, I don't think it's in effect anymore, but we had that yesterday for the Pacific Northwest. So in terms of impacts, like I said, it's probably going to be out here in New York and Pennsylvania, and then in the higher elevations in the Appalachian Mountain Range where the impacts will be the worst. So for everybody else, this whole area here, it's really just going to be, I would say a fun snow, but it's also going to be more miserable too. You're going to have a good 3-4 hours of a great snow, and then after that it turns into a slushy, messy rain mix that everybody loves. Let's see. Yeah, the greatest impact, according to the WSSI here, is definitely day 3, which is Friday. Here's your forecast in terms of snowfall, right around 4 inches of snowfall here. So we have a high risk in the purple. I don't know what percentage it is, but just the purple area is the best chance for around or greater than 4 inches of snowfall. So that includes south central New York, northeastern PA, southwestern PA, higher elevations in West Virginia, and nowhere else. That's for tomorrow. North Carolina, western North Carolina is definitely going to see some snow in the higher elevations. In terms of the foothills near the Greensboro area, I don't think we're going to get any snow that can push that far southeast. No, it doesn't look like it. So really just the higher elevations of western North Carolina. I wouldn't fully rule out some snowfall out here towards Rockingham County, that general area in northwestern, kind of north central North Carolina, but I doubt it makes it any further than that. Damascus, Virginia. I'm pretty sure you're in a winter weather advisory, so you're definitely going to see snowfall. The greatest snow will definitely fall overnight tomorrow night, and I think you're going to be looking at about 2 inches of snowfall or so. Let's see. Wait for it to load. Yeah, so you're going to be looking at probably right around 2 inches of snowfall. St. Mary's, Pennsylvania. Is that in PA? I know exactly where that is. I literally called out that area. Yeah, right there. So it's going to be a good snow for 3 hours or so, and then it's going to quickly transition into rain. But for those couple hours, you could see about 4 to 5 inches of snowfall. I'll show you the precipitation here. Wait for it to load. So you can see it's going to start snowing late tomorrow night, overnight into Friday morning. And then once you go towards about 9, 10 a.m., the snowfall is going to get out of there. So actually, the HRRR doesn't have you getting rain, which if that is the case, you'll have a solid 5, 6 inches of snowfall, probably a good 4 inches of snowfall on the ground. Yeah, you'll probably have about 5 inches of snowfall right around there. It depends on if it rains. If it rains even just a bit, it's going to quickly get rid of that snowfall. But you're definitely going to get snow. definitely going to see snowfall. Let's see, what are you in here for? 3 to 5 inches of snowfall is what you are in a advisory for. 3 to 5 inches. Yeah, basically just watch out if you plan on driving anywhere. Tomorrow night into Friday morning, I would recommend trying to avoid travel. But yeah, I'll have to get some other stuff ready for tomorrow's coverage. I have one more overlay I want to make, so hopefully I can get to that tonight. But actually, not real quick, we're going to take some time to look at it. I want to go over our next winter storm potential. I know we haven't even gotten through this one, but I want to talk about the next one. So if we pull this on out here, pretty far out, we're going to be going almost 200 hours out before we see this potential here. 170 hours out, we're going to see this trough that divots into the U.S. It's going to go towards the lower latitudes of the U.S., so areas that we'll be keeping an eye out for snowstorm potential will be in this area here. So that includes Caleb. I know it's literally the same potential, Caleb. We'll see if this one underperforms as well. I know we were looking at a snowstorm for you, and then all of a sudden, obviously, it started to downtrend. So this one, though, looks better. It looks like a much better opportunity. Because we'll have this low pressure that goes towards the mid and lower latitudes of the U.S. The lower that low pressure goes, the more snow you could get. That's what it's going to be up here in the Midwest. So, for instance, the GFS model run has the low pressure going down towards like Tennessee. That results in you getting about 2 to 4 inches of snowfall out there in your area. Whereas the Euro model, well, that takes a whole different approach. That gives you almost a foot of snowfall out there in central Illinois. So the main thing to keep an eye on here over the next few model runs is to see how far south this trough ejection will divot, which if we go to the 18 ZGFS, there you go. How far south this trough ejection will divot, as well as how much cool air it will bring in. So if we go to your temperature anomalies, actually, let's just do normal temperatures here. You can see your temperatures that are brought in behind this are definitely at freezing, but look at that sharp cutoff. You have a very sharp cutoff between snow and rain. So we'll definitely want to continue to monitor this threat for a winter storm, and it also could bring severe weather as well. It doesn't look like... Ooh. Actually, that uptrended significantly on the newest run there. But it doesn't look that significant yet for severe weather, but this is a second season system. You know, this looks like a second season system here, where we're going to end up with probably a severe weather threat on the southern end of our low pressure system, and then a snowstorm on the northern edge of our snow system here. I also want to show you guys the CPC outlook here. This is your Climate Prediction Center. So if we look at the winter side of things here, the risk for heavy snowfall, you can see they already have that going into almost southwestern Indiana right now. So that's where they're already putting a risk for heavy snowfall from the 28th to the 30th. If we look at the risk for high winds, you could definitely tell a big trough ejection is going to be pushing into the U.S. Once you have a big trough like that push into the U.S., obviously it's going to bring a lot of high winds behind that trough. So that's a big signal for a strong trough ejection there, seeing a risk of high winds in a good chunk of the U.S. Precipitation there, you can see they've outlined that risk there. So if you're in the green, that's where we're going to be keeping an eye out for the potential of a severe weather threat as well as heavy rainfall. So I would definitely be keeping a very close eye on this system. If you live anywhere where they have outlined in the tannish color here, this is where we could see, high winds, flash flooding, heavy rainfall, severe weather, a snowstorm. There's going to be a lot of different hazards that will be possible in that area. Temperature outlook, you can see that blast of cold air on the far left-hand side of your screen that will be brought in from our trough ejection. See you later, LWX. Thanks for tuning in. I can't tell you much about the second snowstorm in terms of specifics, but we're definitely in a good pattern to see snowfall anywhere in this general area here. In terms of how far south or how far north it goes, we're way too far out for that. That's going to be something we determine literally like 2 to 3 days out. If we look at your mean accumulation here, you could see the GFS ensemble accumulation is also confident on snowfall generally in the Midwest. In terms of Connecticut, your Connecticut's up here. Let's see. Well, you're not going to get any snow from this system, and if you do, it's going to be very, very light, yeah. Maybe Western Connecticut could get some flurries Friday morning. And then from our second snow system, I didn't check if you were in that risk for heavy snowfall from the CPC. Let's look at that again. Yeah, Western Connecticut's definitely possible for a snowstorm towards the end of this month. It's definitely possible. Don't get your hopes up yet. I definitely wouldn't be expecting 1.5 feet of snowfall, according to the GFS here. But just know we have a favorable pattern for a snowstorm in your area. We've been talking about this favorable pattern for a long time. I mean, it's probably been, we've mentioned this like 5 days ago. We were talking about the potential for a big snowstorm to close out November. So this was pretty well forecasted from us on this channel. We talked about snowstorm potential in the Northeast a while ago. That's obviously happening tomorrow and Friday. We talked about snowstorm potential for Kayla, but unfortunately it moved more east. You can see you can still see some flurries in Illinois, but it won't be a full-fledged snowstorm for you. And then towards the end of November, this is definitely our best opportunity by far. Definitely the best opportunity we've seen so far for November. A very, very big factor is going to be that the timing of the cold air as well. It's gonna. We're way too far out to say exactly how bad it's going to be, but it's going to have to be very perfect in order for us to see a big winter storm out of this. But Caleb, this is how you get your snowfall forecast verified here. My winter forecast that I did earlier this year, this is exactly what I was talking about. It's all going to come down to how many low pressures we get in the mid and lower latitudes of the U.S., as well as how much that cold air pushes to the southeast. It's going to depend greatly on that, and it all depends on if those two meet perfectly or not. So we'll see how your first real potential goes, Caleb. We'll see if you completely miss out on it, or if it ends up with a big snowstorm for you. See you later, Maury. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, South Dakota definitely stole some snow from you in Nebraska. North Dakota had blizzard warnings in effect. Those expire in 22 minutes here. Catman, you're going to have like one opportunity this season to get anything more than an inch of snowfall. And knowing you, it's probably going to underperform and you're going to end up with literally like 2 flurries. I will say for my area out here, this area here, over the last like month or so, we have seen some better chances for snowfall as we go towards the, January. There's some signals that are definitely showing better signs of us seeing snowstorm potential here in Virginia and North Carolina. However, I bet that's not going to verify. So I hope we see snow out here in North Carolina, Virginia, South Carolina. I would really love to have a low pressure that just swings on and up like this and we get cold air in like that. That would be awesome. But yeah, this whole area here, this whole region here, it's all going to come down to like literally one storm system. A single low pressure is going to either completely break your snow season or make it. Last year, that single low pressure system ended up dropping a lot of snowfall over Tennessee and Kentucky. This year, we'll see where it ends up. But generally, somebody in this area gets a snowstorm. Somebody in this area each year gets lucky with a big snowstorm. Severe weather threat on the East Coast. I mean, I don't see a severe threat per se. Any severe threat right now looks to be probably near this area, somewhere in and around this area here. Most likely on Wednesday. How far are the mountains from me? I mean, it depends. Personally, I consider the mountains right here northwest of Stewart. That's where I consider the mountains, which if we go generally from where I am, I ain't going right down to my house. I'd say probably about 25 to 30 miles away. Now, from the actual, like, you know, the higher elevation Appalachian Mountains, really far. That's like 55 miles. But this area does see snow almost every winter season, so I'm sure if I don't end up with a single flurry in all of like December and into early January, I'll just take a trip up here northwest of Stewart when a snow system comes by. When the snowstorm? Tomorrow. Snowstorm's going to be tomorrow, and tomorrow into all of Friday for New York, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee, and then also up here in Wisconsin. And then we're definitely going to see some flurries in this area tomorrow afternoon. Yep, I did see that. Let's see. Also, we are going more towards a neutral phase in a La Nina now. I doubt that. I doubt that. I bet our probabilities are still right around the same. Let's see. Nope, we are still at about a 75% chance of seeing a La Nina. So we are definitely not leaning towards a neutral. I'm looking right at it, Catman. You ain't got to tell me twice. I'm looking right at it. We are definitely leaning towards a La Nina. From November all the way through March. I'm looking at the CPC forecast. I'm not going to dive into the ocean temperatures. I'll let the professionals who've been doing it for decades look at that, and then I'll go off of what they say. Being hit by a large amount of rain in Somerset, PA. Yeah, you might actually be... Let's turn on those severe warnings again. See if we have any severes. Yep, we still do. Yep, you are in a severe, so just make sure you're away from doors and windows out there. That's a... Is that actually in effect? Okay, it is expiring, so that's good. All that rain's moving out, so you probably had a pretty good... You probably had a pretty good amount of winds out there. Probably wind gust of 30 to 40. Look at all this heavy rainfall. None of it's rotating this time. That's good. We just had a local, random, potentially a tornado outbreak in Pittsburgh about an hour ago. I really still can't tell you what caused that potential outbreak. Like I said, we had at least 2 tornadoes, but probably many more than that. It might have just literally been the localized area of 500 instability mixed in with the lower level jet stream of like 30 knots. I mean, it was like 15, 20 knots at the time of that. I really don't know why. I'm really shocked we had a tornado threat in Pennsylvania today. And a pretty good one, too. Yeah, Roanoke's last good snowfall was probably in 2022, same year as out here in Martinsville. 2022 was our last decent snowstorm. Let's see. And the decent snowstorm had a whopping, what, 2 inches? Yep, 2 inches of snowfall. That's not even a winter storm, man. That's like a little dusting. That's the last time we had like measurable snowfall. Isn't that so pathetic? Out there in like Buffalo, a snowstorm for them is like a foot. Out here in Virginia, it's like 2 inches of snowfall is already pretty rough. 2 inches of snowfall and people are starting to not drive on the roads. I know Martinsville, when we salt our roads out here in Martinsville, I swear they salt it with like, it just never works. It never works. It ends up making it slicker. And they'll salt the roads for like the tiniest snowfall. If they're forecasting a tenth of an inch of snowfall, they'll salt every road in Martinsville, all the main roads. Man, my instability forecast didn't even verify today. I was supposed to get like almost 1,000. No wonder why I got no severe weather. A negative 2,000 sin and what, 200 instability? Yeah. That's enough for a light rain shower at best, depending on what system went through. Let's see. Well, if it's a neutral to a weak linear, that was my forecast, Cap, man. It doesn't change my forecast. My winter forecast would still be the same. Like I said, if I did do my winter forecast again this season, the only thing I'd change is I'd give Kansas up in this area a better chance for snowfall. I would say that area has a better chance for snowfall this season than what I put on my winter forecast. I wouldn't have put this area in below average snowfall. That's the main thing I'd change. Which isn't really a big change. I'd just put it back into like the normal snowfall. Average. There we go. Average snowfall. Have I seen the 935 millibar low in Ireland on the GFS Saturday? Totally. Buddy, I ain't looked up there in probably my whole career. Where the heck's Ireland? Isn't that the Northeast? Isn't that like... I think I know where that is. I think that is here. You said Saturday. Oh, yeah. I see it. I'm pretty sure that's well west of Ireland. By like, I think this is, yep, that's Ireland right there. I was right. That's like 500 miles west of Ireland. But yeah, I see it. Let's see. I was still right. I was still right. I knew where Ireland was. It's just I don't look up here like at all. I know every last state in the US, okay? I'm smarter than like half the people in this world. I know all 50 states. Let's see. Oh, you meant near Oklahoma? No, I know what you mean, Tornado Man. Check the NAM for you? Sure. Let's see. Well, I can't. Okay, well, actually, there's the There, Colorado's right there. Give me any state. I'll be able to point it in just a second. Greece? Greece is somewhere over here. Well, you guys can't see it, but it's somewhere. It's somewhere on Earth. Okay? Can't be wrong. Can't be wrong, right? Somewhere on Earth. But you want me to look at the NAM here. Hold on. Let me use this so we could see exactly what the NAM shows for Caleb. There's Pecora right there. Yeah. Right there. It doesn't show you getting any snow there, Caleb. Sorry. Vermont? I know where Vermont is. It's right there. This one's Vermont. This one's New Hampshire. Vermont. France? France is over here in Italy. Maybe. Where is France? Hold on. This whole area is France. See the big France right there? Oh, you can't even see it. Right there. France. This area, I don't know this area a lot, okay? I don't track weather over here. Like, I know these areas generally, and I know generally, you know, the geography of them, but exactly, like, where each area is, I'll get confused. What continent do we live on? The United States. Let's see. Let's see. Is the U.S. a continent? I'm just playing, y'all. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. It's North America. I know. Nah. Go ask somebody out in, like, Catman, when you go to school, I dare you to just walk up to somebody and then ask them that question and see what they say. I would be very curious to see if just somebody in school knows what continent we live on. What about Nebraska? Dude, I mean, I literally, like, this whole area here, I know by heart. This area, the Northeast gets a little bit fuzzy, but I know this whole area by heart. Because that's all of, like, you know, that's where I track severe weather so often. These are the two states that I get confused. I'm sorry to anyone who lives in New Jersey, but I get New Jersey and Delaware confused every now and then. Those are the only two states that I mix up. I forget which one's which. But those are the only two. And that's because I don't track that area much. Once again. Let's see. Give me just a moment. Okay. I've never been to Italy or France, buddy. I live like a freaking 1,500 miles away. Oh, no, my 4,600 miles away, dude. Never been there. Let's see. Where's my house? You want me to dox you on stream? No. That's not something I would like to do, Caleb. I'm not lucky, okay? Go ask him. No. Is it pouring rain or is that like wind? Is it like... Holy crap. I swear, I hear like... I hear the wind, dude. No, thank you, Caleb. Even if you give me permission, I still am not going to do it. But hey, you might get some snow here in a bit, so you probably want to go outside. And while you do that, I'm going to end the live stream. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Hopefully you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. If you do have any questions, I do have like 1 more minute left. So if you have any last second questions, I could go ahead and answer them for you. But yeah, I appreciate you guys tuning in. I hope everybody except for Caleb has a fantastic day. And thank you mods except for Caleb for modding chat. I really appreciate it. And yeah, TRG might have to go right now. Like, the freaking wind is about to blow over a freaking tree. My parents just ran outside. What is going on out there? Yo, I'm gonna... Yo, it is blowing out there. I'm gonna go. Gracious day. I'm gonna go ahead and go outside here. So I'll see you guys in my next live stream tomorrow night. Probably right around like 6, 7 o'clock. I'm gonna go see how bad this wind is. I can't wait. I'm gonna go take my wind gauge out there and get blown away. What state is north of Kentucky? Which one? We've got Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin, Canada. But all right, that's it. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. On your way out, if you can, hit the like button, subscribe, and share the channel with your family and friends on social media. And I will see you guys in tomorrow's live stream. Stay safe, watch the severe weather in the tropics, watch the snowfall. See you guys tomorrow. Have a great rest of your night. Goodbye. Yo, the wind is so bad outside. Like, it's literally about to blow down a tree. Now it's pushing against my window. Y'all, this wind is terrible. Welcome to the stream. Like, say thanks for mod in chat. Sounds like a train outside. See you guys in tomorrow's live stream. Have a great rest of your night. Stay safe. Good.